Right, boys, welcome back to another video on our channel. We are team crushing the meta and you are here with D-Boy. We've already done the deck profile on the Spike Weather deck, the Turbo deck when it comes to premium, and now in this video we'll actually explain a little bit how the deck works, and we'll also explain how the deck will change while playing it by now having the Zazan or the vanilla engine being removed out of the deck. So first, let's explain that. What happened right now? Because we took out the ability for us to flip a card in the G-Zone in the early game using the skill of Zazan or the Tempest, which I agree with 100%. I agree with these cards being taken out of the deck or of the format because the format is slowing down. And when you slow the format down, you need to slow it for every deck. And I think it's fair that we as Spike Weather players will also slow down as well. So normally when you play the game, so let's say that you have your starter ready. So let's say, where is our beautiful starter? There he is, the Mega Trainer, still the original one. I don't have the cards yet, the triple rare one. So let's say that you have the tier in the hand, and you have of course the heal triggers that you want to search. So what you do is, of course, you write, and this goes out, and then on the next turn that you write into a grade 2. So let's say you would like to write into something like maybe a Sprite. You would rather call him as a Rega, but he's the only right target, so you write on Sprite. And now you could use the Zazan from the hand and then call the double vanillas and flip the Cyclone, or use the skill of Tempest to flip the Cyclone and try to get some vanillas to the hand. What will happen right here? If you went first, the most important thing is you have one card face up in your G-Zone. So whenever you ride into that grade 3, so let's say you ride into the Rising, and for argument's sake, let's just create the markers, for God's sake. Otherwise, people say, yo, D-Boy, you forgot the markers. Fucking hell. Okay, here you have your markers. Your Zazan and your Vanillas just died. And then you use the skill of Mega Trainer to search out one heal to the hand. Let's say you already had another heal, so you have 2 heals in the hand. And because you went first, you still have one of your vanillas which was in the back row. You move it forward, and then let's say you attack first with this. You drive check another heal, so you have 3 heals in the hand, and you attack with this, and then you end your turn. So when it's your opponent's turn, they attack into you. You could actually just, if they attack only once or they attack multiple times, you could use your heal triggers to G-Guard. And because you already have GB1, you could use your Lioness right away. So you could go G-Guard, Lioness, use Lioness skill to flip something. So let's say you flip Ikra Elemental, then you G-Guard again to use the second Lioness on the same attack to flip yet another Ikra Elemental, and then you use your last heal to use the third Lioness, and then you flip yet another card. And because these cards do not count as cards face up in your G-Zone, because these are on your Guardian Circle, I mean, you use them at the same time. You could flip one, and now at the end of the battle, these will of course go to your G-Zone, and you have 7 cards in your G-Zone. So with having 3 heals in the hand, you could go to the GB8 as a first stride. Okay, you could also of course do it differently. You don't have to use them all of them at the same time. You could also use 1 and then use 2 later on, as long as you don't forget that you could not have more than 4 cards in your G-Zone to use the G-Guardians. Alright, what will happen right now? Because we don't have the Cyclone. We could not flip a Cyclone. The only thing that you could do is you could play Gize, and with playing Gize you have the Neon Gize here, and then that also counts as GB. That works, that you could do that. But what happens right now? If you want to go to the GB8 as a first stride, then what you need to do is you need to have 4 heals in the hand. 4 heals in the hand. And you need to use them perfectly. So when your opponent attacks you, on the first attack, you only use 1 G-Guardian to use the Gus or the one of the Cray Elementals. Because you don't have GB, you could not use the Terrible Lioness. You have to go for one of these. So you could use something like this. You could put cards in your soul back to your deck if needed, and maybe even the heal itself or something else, your Mega Trainer, whatever. And then this will go to your G zone. And on the next attack, you use, or other attack, you use the triple G guard right away. So 1, flop, flip, 2, flop, oh, my bad, flip, and 3, flop, and then you flip your last G guard because you play, of course, 7. If I could find it, I would flip it. There it is. And now you have the 7 cards in your G zone. And this is something that your opponent could play around because they could not give you the ability to use the first G guard and then use the 3 G guards. But sometimes they don't know you have 4, or they are not counting on you having 4, so you could still make it happen. If you go second, so this is if you go first. If you go second, then of course you have the ability to stride first. And your first strides being Bad and Dragger. If you go Bad and Dragger, then you could go Good End. You could go Merendol, you could go Finest Ace, or you could go Agrius. Problem with Good Ends is that he doesn't flip cards in your G zone. So you have to remember that on the attack that they do, you have to use the 3 flips. Flip G Guardians, Lioness. But you could do that, that's okay. But let's say you're chilling on Rising, so your only options are these 3. Well, Agrius will flip something, he will flip something, and he will flip something. If you have already flipped something in your G zone, which let's say you already have the Cyclone and you went second because you have used the Zazan or the Tempest, if you go to the Violence Ace, when you use the skill of Violence Ace, normally you would flip the second Cyclone, you could draw 2 cards because you have 2 cards in your G zone, so you draw 2. But if you don't have the Cyclone, because now we don't have the Cyclone anymore, no Zazan, no Tempest, now you could flip something and you only draw 1. So that's the difference. If you go Merendol or you go Agrius, you basically will, at the end of the turn, you will have the 2 copies right here, the 2 cards face up in your G zone. That's basically what happens. And on the next turn, when your opponent will attack into you, now you still need 3 G guards. You need 3 heals in the hand to get to the GB8, because this is 2 cards in your G zone. So let's say this is 2 and this is 2. So if you only have 2 heals in the hand, you'll be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just not enough. You need a third one, and the third one doesn't have to be a flip G guard. It could also be just a normal G guard, and then you end up with having the 7 cards. But if you played the Cyclone, then of course you already have 1 more, so you actually need only 2 heals to get to the 7 cards in your G zone, but you need to use the double flip G guards. So that's what happens right here. The deck is slowed down. But when you go second, it's not that big of a deal because having the 3 heals in the hand is not that hard, and you have flexibility using the heals because you already have cards in your G zone. But going into the GB8 as a first stride will still be a challenge because you need the 4 heals in the hand and you need the right way to guard those opponent attacks. And with that, you're also losing lots of shield value because you have to use the 3 G guards at the same time, which is insane. But hey, it happens. I've done that multiple times. I think some of you guys that are watching the video have done it as well. Alright, so now we have explained how the vanilla engine taking it out of the deck will actually make the deck slower. As I said, I think it's fair, but it makes it more challenging to play. But at the same time, it will also make the game go longer, because that's what we want. We want to play a little bit longer. We don't want to have those decks that OTK your opponent right away without your opponent having the option to do something about it. Alright, so that would actually be it for this video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't seen the deck profile on the deck yet, you could check it out. And if you want to see the combo deck or the combo video, which I'll make after this video. You could also see it very soon on our channel, because I will start with the deck profile, putting it up. Then we will have, of course, this deck, this video, I mean, which explains a little bit more about the deck, and then we will end up with a video that talks about the combo of the deck. Alright guys, again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And we will see you in the next video. So till next time.